Okay, we got a Pw80 here. Got it for my son. Now the bottom line is there's some issues with these machines right off the hop. I mean, I don't know if you guys Googled and YouTubed and did everything else to try to find out what's going on with these machines. Dripping out the float bowl, okay, out the overflow. Way too high of a float level, okay. The carb has to be lowered, the float level. That's a guarantee. The drain tube coming out the bottom here, if that's leaking any kind of fuel at all over bumps and anything, your float level is way too high. The machine's going to be running too rich. Number two, the exhaust. You got to watch out for the exhaust, okay? Because 205 and 206 bikes come underneath with a valve, or a plate I should say, that's in between the manifold and the pipe, and it restricts exhaust flow. Two-stroke motors need to breathe. They need to breathe, and the better they breathe, the higher they rev, the faster they get to their maximum rev. Now, oiling's another real issue. I have the cap off this just to notice the adjustments on it and everything, setting it up. The Pw80 uses way too much oil, okay? I just did a bit of an experiment. If you can see in there, I took off the oil feed for the carburetor, started it just for a second, cleaned it out, knowing full well that in the bottom of the crank and everything there's still an awful lot of oil residue, so I wasn't worried about burning out the rings or anything. Now I ran it for a little while. Now the revs pick up. The Pw80 for some reason can't seem to rev above 5, maybe 5,500 RPMs, and once it does, there's some kind of something stopping it. Oiling is a big factor. Now at the back here we'll see the spark arrestor. I took this piece out of the spark arrestor. Okay, this fits right in here, and it plugged literally on the end. You can see the round marks where it plugged the opening for the exhaust. These engines have to breathe. So the first thing you do is you take the guts out, put the cap back on nicely, leaving about an inch of pipe left on the inside after you hacksaw it off. It has a bit more of a crack to it, a little bit more of a pop sound, but it's not much louder. Okay, second of all, after disconnecting that oil, I'm pretty much convinced after what I read about all you guys writing about these things, is that you do need to remove the injector system. Disable it so it's a safe disable, so it's not spewing oil anywhere, so it's not wanting to pump. And I would recommend running a premix. If you want to go 32 to 1, the engine's going to be safe at high RPMs. It's going to have a lot more power because right now the thing's rating at about 20 to 1 with the injector on. You can't adjust that. It's not possible. So what you want to do is you want to premix at about 32 to 1, and if you want more power, go as high as 40. If you're going to race, go 50, but your engine wear is going to be well, I wouldn't say dramatically increased, but your engine wear will be substantially increased, especially your cylinder wall and your ring wear. So have fun with your Pw80s, and there's lots of other tricks you can do with the centrifugal clutch, taking out a couple ball bearings. As long as it's a symmetrical removal, you can have the bike engage at around 2,500 RPM, which if you're ever stuck on a hill, we all know, especially with an automatic transmission, it's nice to engage with a little bit of a thump so you can get going. So anyway, talk to you later. My son's going to be doing some tricks later on. Check it out, man.